I hear there's one really passionate Lady Teresa fan in Hellevese. But I'm not going to lose to a poser like him. Lady Teresa's true allure isn't in those frozen eyes. You can't say you understand her if that's all you see. But I do. Only I understand her true appeal. Do you want to know what it is?
Well, I don't think I really care.
Do ya? Huh? Of course you do.
Okay, sure.
Well, if you insist, I'll tell you. Teresa's true allure is in that tinge of sadness hidden within her lovely face. Even when she's smiling, there's a touch of melancholy that never leaves her. It's like her heart is somewhere else, somewhere distant.
So where is it?
With her love, her true love, the true love she's yet to meet. How tragic! She suffers, lamenting the love she cannot find, yet doesn't realize that the very man she seeks is so near. That's why I watched over her so dearly. And then it happened. It was a day I'll never forget.
What happened?
She was off duty, frolicking in the waves by Maclear Beach. That alabaster skin, how pure she looked in her swimsuit.
This guy is really, really creepy.
Yeah, seriously creepy.
Hey, what's with that cold look?
I feel bad for Teresa. She had to protect creeps like this guy, too.
What cold, cold eyes you have.
Velvet, Eleanor, quickly, avert your gaze! If you keep looking at him with disgust and disdain, you'll only stimulate this perverted freak!
Come on, everyone. Let's go.
No, come back! Please! Scorn me! Despise me!
We were hoping to put on a comedy routine. Any way you can fit us in?
I can, but folks in Ysolt are picky when it comes to comedy. You'd better know what you're doing.
I love a good challenge.
Wow, Rokuro, you actually feel like helping out?
Believe it or not, I've always been interested in theater. I thought it would be good for building courage.
I think you have enough courage already, but for now I think we should set your sights low. I'll do most of the talking, you just respond to me and follow along.
Okay, but if you start giving me some jabs, am I permitted to counterattack?
As long as it's not with your sword. That's not exactly reassuring.
Let's get going, Magilu. We've got a show to do.
Oh boy, I'm not sure about this one. Hi there! We're Magilu and Rokuro, a wild, rough and tumble pair! Magicazam! The weather's so nice in Ysolt, isn't it? Especially the sea breeze. Speaking of which...
Sea breezes are bad for swords. If you don't keep them polished, the salt will rust them.
I suppose that's good advice for any sword enthusiasts out there. But anyway, doesn't the air make you want to eat seafood? Ah, sashimi, fresh-boiled fish on the shore, seafood bowls. So many kinds look so delicious, but...
And fillets, too. You can't forget those. Takes true mastery to be able to use a blade so finely. Every creature, not just fish, has delicious spots that make for perfect cuts if you know where to find them.
That's kinda gross, but okay. Some seafood that tastes good looks downright weird, you know? You've got octopuses, you've got swordfish, you've got...
Swordfish! Now, if there's one fish out there I'd love to duel at least once, it's that one for sure.
You know there's not much I can do with these sudden wild tangents, right?
No. You see, I was just making a gag about how I'm a swordsman, so a swordfish would be like my rival, you get it?
Oh, just shut up.
Oh, okay.
So you've got octopuses, swordfish, you've got those freaky deep-sea anglerfish. Some say the more bizarre-looking the fish, the better its taste. Maybe it's true. I love pufferfish, and they're really weird, round-shaped.
Speaking of round animals, I once met this round-looking guy named Armadillon. I'd never seen anyone so round before or even since.
I can't take it anymore! You're a nightmare to work with!
That turned out pretty funny.
Yeah, well, I feel like our material could have been better. What's your take on it?
I'll just say one thing. If nothing else, your partner was a convincing fool. I don't think he had to act much.
You think so?
No, you're just a free spirit nobody can hope to control. Your attention, please! I've tabulated the results and I've come to the conclusion that you're all hopelessly unfunny!
I'm sorry.
I don't really care how it went. But when you put it that way, I get a little pissed off.
Anyway, that's why I'll be teaming up with Bienfu to take on Majulu.
Works for me! I'm ready when you are, Miss Magulu! Which bit are you gonna do? Your specialty, Cat Emperor? Or the surefire automaton assault?
Neither. We need brute force to win, so I'm going with Elysian Thunder.
Which means that when things are at their peak, we're gonna hit the audience with lots of thunder, right?
Right. Thunder in the form of relentless ad-libbing, as much as we can possibly handle.
Okay! I'll scout out some local material we can use for our opening warm-up, too!
Great, you do that.
You two are really in sync.
Couldn't you two just have teamed up from the start?
It's almost like the whole thing was an elaborate joke just so she could have this punchline.
Well, now with that settled, let's make our way to Logres and meet up with Majulu.
The Abbey is telling everyone to stay away from the Palamedes ruins because a vicious demon has settled in them. It's a real nasty piece of work. Likes to call its buddies over just to devour them. And it's only getting more aggressive over time. Not even the exorcists have been able to keep it under control. If you know what's good for you, you'll all stay away from there too.
A demon that devours other demons and gets more brutal. That sounds like venomization.
If it's bringing in other demons just to eat them, then yeah. I'd bet it's acting on instinct.
Trying to live and be strong, even if that means eating its fellow demons. Why, that's positively alluring.
And how is that exactly?
You know how when it's late at night and you just know you shouldn't have that snack, but there it is and it's so tempting?
If it's been at this for a while, I bet it'll make for a pretty tough opponent.
Yeah. And if Velvet devoured it, she might become a lot stronger.
It sounds dangerous to me.
To feed or not to feed? That is the question.
Come take a look!
I heard you guys found Terror Island. Is that true?
Yes, First Mate. It was moving around, just like the legends say. We left a team on the island to track its movements.
Then they'll lead us right to it. Excellent. We'll take the Von Eltia there.
Aren't you rushing things a bit? We don't even know what's on the island. It's too dangerous.
I'm aware of the dangers, but I can't abandon my crew on that island. You can grumble all you want, but I'm going.
Yeah. I figured there wouldn't be much use in trying to persuade you. What the hell?
Hooey! Now this is mighty rare. Looks like we got ourselves even more guests! Welcome, y'all, to Norman Island! Y'all must be right tuckered out from all that traveling. Why don't you take a load off, sit for a spell, and have a snack?
Wait, did you say Norman Island?
You heard right! This island is homeland for all us Norman!
It's good to be back. I haven't been here for at least 1,500 years.
Aw! It's you, Grimoire! How you been? It's good to see you!
And you.
If you guys knew what this place was all along, why didn't you say something sooner?
Well, Eisen just sounded so cool talking about venturing into the unknown and all that, so I didn't want to burst his bubble.
Sometimes it's good to let someone dream, no matter how far-fetched said dream might actually be.
This island is way too good to be true, First Mate.
Ah, everything's so nice and laid back here. I could just relax like this for 1,000 years.
So, when people say this place absorbs power from all existence, this is what they meant?
Well, they're not wrong, I guess. So, what should we do? Do you really think it's okay to mark this island on the map?
Let's not. I got a feeling this might be one of those places that's best kept a secret.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, so much for Terror Island, I guess.
I'm getting a bit tired of just lazing about on this island. It's boring here.
How long have you been lazing about?
About 1,000 years, I think.
That is a long time to not do anything.
Then again, it'd be terrible to have a mean old tyrant of a master, like what happened to Bienfu. Oh, can I just make a pact with a nice girl who will pamper me all day? If she was real pretty, I wouldn't even care if she liked making terrible puns.
I think you're setting yourself up for a letdown.
Wow! I ain't seen people in forever. Not since Artorias and his bunch.
You've met Artorias before?
Met him? Boy, I tell you what, I've done way more than that. Once, we all went adventuring with Artorias and the king himself. If you can believe it. We traveled the world, purifying malevolence and spreading the blessings of Malakim.
Wait, the king?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only King Claudin, who ended the era of darkness.
The Hero King? How could someone from the distant past be traveling with Artorias?
Between you and me, little lady, he used an oath to live about another 300 years. Heck, he was even the former head of the Exorcists.
King Claudin was the head of the Exorcists?
He held that post for a real long time, but then he met Artorias, who was an orphan. The king couldn't have been happier. He found an earnest pupil, a perfect candidate for his successor. But then, things took a mighty sad turn for the worse.
What happened?
All the other Norman who traveled with us are on their way to the place where Claudin died. The place known as Loringen. If you want to know more, you ought to ask them.
It's hard to believe that King Claudin, the former head of the Exorcists, and Artorias' teacher were all the same person.
It's not so unbelievable. Melchior was using the same oath. I'd even go a step further and say that Melchior was imitating Claudin to get in his inner circle.
Hold on. You didn't happen to know Claudin, did you?
Afraid not. I never met the man in person. But I knew he had enough quirks to really get the old geezer's goat sometimes. I mean, he gave up wealth and power to protect the world as an exorcist. The man lived for his work in the same way that a fish lives to swim in the sea.
And Artorias is the one who took his place.
For now, let's just focus on getting to Lorngan. Listen, Velvet. If nothing else, I think you should find the truth for your own sake.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I ran into Zavid a little bit ago. He had a kid Moloch along with him. He said he saved the kid from a demon.
Zavid has a soft spot for children.
That's what I heard. It was freezing cold that night, but he gave his coat to the kid to wear. You should have seen it. He was naked from the waist up. But as cold a night as it was, Zavid had this big smile plastered on his face. He laughed and said, "I don't mind the cold. Besides, what's a little cold wind to Zavid the whirlwind?"
Did you hear? Phoenix found a new purpose, and he's real fired up about it.
Will he be all right? You know how he can get a little too fixated on his ideas.
I just hope he's with someone nice.
Either way, I'm still worried. Phoenix has a habit of letting his excitement get the better of him.
Should we go check in on him? I'm curious about what's going on in the human world, too.
Yeah, good idea. I was getting bored of just sitting around here. Let's go.
Then it's settled. Let's call everyone together and make it a big trip.
Be sure to stay with me.
But I'm this close, I won't miss! Form zero! Thunder! One down.
Heaven's wrath! Infernal force!
Keep it! Keep it! One down.
Infernal force! Infernal force!
You two are so cool!
Don't become like me. Don't try and imitate Okuro, please.
I don't think we have a chance! Check out the height on that one!
Ready to die? Think you can dodge? Just try! Perfect mayhem!
Renegade Flash Parachute!
Double hate! Cross!
No mercy! Won't that one be? Blade of Heaven! Here's my
Wide open! Jade Wave! Die! Let's go! Shooting star! Hurricane! Southland! Electric Fury! Hurricane!
We're finished here. Let's go.
We won.
I wasn't good enough.
What do you mean? That demon was really strong.
I don't mean the demon. I mean me. If Shigure were here, he'd have sliced it clean in half.
But you use shorter dual blades rather than just one bigger one like him, so of course...
No. He'd have done it with a shorter blade, too.
You can't be serious.
He's right. I think Shigure might really be capable of that.
Yeah. He's done it before.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't mind. You want to know more about my clan?
Yeah.
Well, as the eldest son, Shigure became head of the clan and ran things for a while. But 3 years ago, a rumor started floating around that he was planning an insurrection, and our lord immediately called for his execution.
Sounds like he doesn't waste any time.
Shigure never particularly cared about our lord to begin with. All he ever respected was personal strength.
Then did your lord send you to do the job?
Yeah. The only thing that can take down a Rangetsu swordsman is another Rangetsu swordsman. I thought I could handle it. I knew his every trick and had the time and place all planned out. But when it happened...
You got your ass beat.
Yeah. He made a fool out of me. I came at him with a greatsword, and he just used a small one. All the training I'd done, I couldn't land a hit on him.
A rude awakening if there ever was one.
Damn straight. I couldn't deny it. Shigure cast aside my greatsword and just laughed. Train harder, he told me. I was so frustrated by my weakness, my inexperience. So much so that I wanted to end my own life. So much so that I turned into a demon.
Rokuro.
In the end, Shigure escaped, and I was arrested for failing to perform my duty and sent to the prison island.
And the rest, as they say?
So you regret not being able to kill your brother. Huh.
I know it sounds crazy, but that's just who I am.
I'm not here to judge you. I'm just using you for my own purposes. As long as you fight my enemies, that's all that matters.
That's the plan. That's what I do best as a demon.
Great. Now my menu's complete. Hey, when I'm a big success, you want to get hitched?
You shouldn't tease an exorcist.
I'm not teasing. I'm serious. Marry me.
Well, good luck with your restaurant.
Ooh, rejection hurts.
Miss Holier Than Thou delivered some just desserts.
Sweet rejection. It'd make a good cake name.
The taste of defeat is bittersweet.
The Lord of Calamity has brought fear to the entire kingdom. Grim whisperings echo through the streets in every town.
It's gloom and grief all around. So many people at church have lost someone close to them.
But it is in the saddest times when smiles are most needed. Dark expressions cast dark shadows.
Smile in the face of sadness.
Now that's a real man. That old guy knows what's what.
I'm not saying you need to make light of everything, but try to leave a little room for joy in your life.
Like when you eat good food, or see a beautiful flower.
Or even this fountain. Water wells forth, a symbol of hope. Even though life may be hard, I keep at it. I work hard so that this fountain never runs dry.
And I'll help you maintain it, so that it stays a place where people can come to feel at ease.
Now that there are less exorcists around, we can rely on the Abbey to do everything for us.
We need to start by doing what we can do to make this world a brighter place.
So where are you going to start?
With everything as harsh as it is now, people feel like they need to sacrifice excess and live frugally. I agree that we should act in moderation and refrain from excessive luxury. But we need joy to keep us going, right?
That's why we've decided to open up a restaurant. We want to make people happy by making good food and good drink.
What sort of food will you make?
That's what I'm researching now. I'm walking the world, trying different foods.
I heard they have this amazing Mabo curry. But to be honest, the place looks a little intimidating.
Just treat it like it's any other restaurant. I've been in there, and the Mabo curry is great.
Really? So it's a Mabo curry even the kids can like? I gotta try me some of this.
I wish you wouldn't call me a kid.
My bad. I didn't mean to step on your pride there. I was too preoccupied with thinking about our restaurant's mission statement, and I neglected to consider your feelings. I'm terribly sorry.
It's not that big of a deal. But what do you mean by mission statement anyway?
We're a restaurant that's fun for the whole family. Our slogan is, we'll feed you from the cradle to the grave.
It's supposed to be a place people eat. You might not want to mention graves.
I think a person would need a lot of courage to go eat there.
Whoa. Why didn't I think about that?
You seem to miss a lot. Are you sure you're up for running a restaurant?
We'll be fine. I studied up on a lot of restaurant management, and I plan on hiring a really good chef. All that's left is to select a menu and come up with a new slogan.
Instead of cradle to grave, how about from this life to the next life?
Your food's killing them either way.
Rats. I can't think of anything.
How about fine dining, from baby teeth to dentures? Not bad, eh?
That's fantastic. It gets rid of that whole dying thing. I love it! We'll use it.
They've got a long road ahead of them.
Welcome.
You came back.
I did. This place is important to me.
Are you sure it's okay to be in a town like this?
Don't worry about us. Besides, I'm more worried about the bar. I'm only away for a little while, and look at this place. The casks are empty, and all the food tastes like dirt. Just a little bit ago, we finally got a delivery in. It was barely enough to open up shop.
Do you have enough to make Mabo curry?
I do.
Great!
Thanks for worrying about us. But leave the town to the townsfolk. You should just focus on what you have to do. Just make sure you don't have any regrets.
Thanks, Tabitha. Benwick told me that you can mop the floor with the water you've used for washing rice, and it'll make the wood shiny. Is that true?
It is. Not only does it get the floor clean, it'll put on a layer of rice brown oil at the same time. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Wow, that's awesome! I didn't know that.
Yeah, rice water has a lot of uses. The first time you use a new earthenware pot, boil rice water in it, and you'll extend its lifespan. And if you use it when you're rehydrating dried fish, it'll tenderize it and take away the fishy smell too. And if you water plants with it, it acts as a fertilizer. It's really useful stuff.
Wow, look at you, Velvet. Maybe I could see you with a family after all.
You don't have to act so surprised.
Still, I've never read that in any of my books before. How did you end up learning all that?
I learned from Celica, who learned it from our mom. It's just been passed down across the family.
Wow! What else did you learn from your sister growing up?
Celica taught me everything our mom knew about cooking, from the basics to more advanced techniques. Speaking of which, rice water is really useful when cooking, too. If you use it to boil radishes, it'll get rid of their bitter taste. When you use it to boil bamboo shoots or burdock roots, they'll soften and take on a nice white color. My mother taught Celica that anyone who threw away rice water wasn't qualified for housework, and my sister passed it on to me, too.
You know so many cool things!
When I needed to make When you need to make a child eat their vegetables, it'll go over better if you can cook them tender and not so bitter.
I bet you'd make a pretty good mom one day, Velvet.
You really think so? Actually, since you're here, Bienfu, I have to ask. Those are discarded vegetables on your tray there, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're just raw scraps left over from cooking. I was on my way to throw them out just now.
What are you talking about? That's all still good stuff you can use. Look at those radish leaves. Dice them up, fry them in oil, add soy sauce, cooking wine, bonito flakes, and sesame seeds, and voila! A perfectly healthy topping for rice. And that potato skin? If you wipe the inner side on a mirror, it won't fog up. Put some salt on those lemon rinds and you can use them to scrub a wash basin sparkling clean.
Holy cow, Velvet! You're a treasure trove of knowledge.
You know what's been bothering me? These pirates are way too wasteful with their food. They leave so much garbage.
You might be getting a little carried away here.
Yeah. I think you've made the jump from potential mom to bothersome in-law.